Right, this should be a quick fix because it's only a backlight problem and it's had a brand new set of backlights, but it still doesn't to be working apparently. This has come from a repair shop down the road, a little TV installation shop. It's quite an old TV. I'll show you the model number. So it's one of the Fs. I've always said the F range was very good. It was the H's that started to be weird. UE32F 6510 SB, and this was the top of the range of the F models, so this was a really good TV. He would have been expensive at the time. A 32-inch would have been around £600, which sounds ridiculous for this day and age, but it was a smart TV. And this one did have, I don't know if this one has a satellite input, but maybe this one, oh yes, it has. It has, so I do remember this one quite well. I've just taken all the screws out and I'm just about to take the back off it. Anyway, the fault with this was not coming on. The shop diagnosed backlights, put some backlights in it, and apparently it still didn't come on, which was a bit strange. So I'm just guessing something's gone awry with a backlight connection somewhere, and we'll get it sorted. But let's just plug it in and have a look what it's doing. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just power cycling. You can see a little blue light here, but that's just a reflection. Yeah, it's just power cycling. I will switch to the mobile cam again, so maybe you'll see it better. I don't know. Hang on. Yeah. So it's going on and off, and we've got a standby light here, which is going on and off. Now, this is typical of this particular, well, not this particular model, but the Fs, if they were shorted backlights. So I can only presume, well, let me switch some lights on. I can only guess that the backlights he's put in, one of the strips has a short circuit for it to do this, unless it's got the other problem, which is going to be quite expensive if that's the case, and that is there is a chip on the power supply that's connected to the PFC circuit. If that fails, that will cause this, because it's going to be missing something like 90 volts on the main filter cap. And those chips were very expensive. In fact, you can't get those chips anymore. And you can't get the power supplies for these. But there's one way to test, just to make sure, first of all, and that is to disconnect the main board. If the backlights come up, he's lucky. Or, if the backlights don't come up, he's lucky. But then again, they wouldn't come up on the chip anyway. I'm trying to think how we diagnosed this. If the backlights are correct, not shorted, they will come on when I disconnect the main board. No, that's not right either. Oh, gosh, it was so long ago. Okay, the only thing I can do is do a voltage check on the main filter capacitor. It should be 390 volts. If it's reading 320, then it is going to be that chip. And it's going to be if it is that chip, it's going to be an expensive fix. Well, probably more expensive than he realizes, because he's probably put a brand new set of backlights in this for no reason whatsoever. So I just want to do a few voltage checks here. If I catch it quick, it won't be going into standby. No, it's still power cycling, which is good. Let me just get the meter. So the main filter cap there should have a good 390, if not close to 400 volts in it. If it's down at 320, 330, it is that chip. Well, it does go up to 390, but it jumps down again. It is that chip. It's not the backlights. Now, you won't find a board or a chip for this on eBay. It's just, well, if we do, it's going to be really expensive. I don't think there will be one. I will have a board for this. I probably haven't got the identical one. I think I've got the next revision up or down. So this will be a A. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is a 620A. And there are B's, C's, and D's. But they all, even the B, C's, and D's you can't find on eBay anymore. I'm just going to have a look on eBay. I'm just going to see. Hang on. I mean, it still could be a backlight issue, but I don't think so. Not with that reservoir cap floating. £100. Bang on. Is that in the UK? Yes. £100 and free pack. Very expensive. But they got rare. And at the time, these were really nice. Classed as, really nice TVs. And I would imagine the smart features on these still work. I will have a revision of this board, definitely. I won't have the original, so let me go and fetch. I'm 90% sure it's that chip on the power supply. To get the chip alone, well, you can't get the chip, but if you could get the chip, the chips are still expensive. They're about 30 quid plus VAT, and that's the price from China. Ridiculous, and I don't know why. But anyway, let me go and find a board first, a revision board. I just want to make sure that this is going to power up okay, and it's not an issue with the backlights. I'm pretty sure it's not an issue with the backlights now, but I've got to check. You can probably tell it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit cleaner. But this is the revised board. Let me just see what's different. It's not a revised board. This is exactly the same. I didn't know I'd got one of these. This is a 620A. Okay. Right. Well, let me... I think I've left that plugged in. Is it... That's been power cycling while I've been looking for the last half hour. Which means there's going to be voltage in that filter cap. But I will be careful. I'm always plugged into an isolation supply anyway, but that still doesn't mean you take risks. I'll just show you the chip I mean. I'll show you it on the board that hasn't got any power in. Just to be safe. Oops, sorry. I kind of thrust it upon you. There it is. That's the main IC, which just goes up to the main filter cap. And that's the one that goes... It doesn't short, it just goes leaky, I suppose is the term. And it stops the filter cap from having a stable voltage, which is why then the secondary side of the power supply keeps shutting down. If it sounds like I'm guessing a bit here, it's because I am guessing a bit here. But I'm pretty sure... Well, it can't be the backlights. There's a brand new set of backlights gone in this. And I don't think it was the backlights originally. But since it's had a new set of backlights, it might as well have a good board as well. I thought I'd bent some pins putting that in them, but I hadn't. Right. I will switch some lights off. That's going to be enough, isn't it? The new board is in, which is not a revision. It's the exact same one. Didn't know I had it. I'm pretty sure that this is going to make it work, but I'm not 100%, but I'm close. Yes. Allow me to be smug for a bit. And of course this is the one that had the built-in microphone as well. Anyway, I could do with an old Samsung remote because I'm trying to operate it with a modern Samsung remote, and that's not going to do much on this one. Yeah, it all seems fine. You're seeing a bit of flickering, but there's no backlight flicker. It is okay. That was a power board. Well, it's going to be an expensive fix. But, well, it is going to be an expensive fix. I don't know how much the guy has been charged for the backlights, or if the original shop may want to put the original backlights back in. We'll put that down to the customer. But the power board I've taken out cannot be repaired. Otherwise, I'd have stuck a chip in it, just a small IC. It was a strange power supply. The power supply, by the way, even though it's a Samsung TV and it looks like a Samsung power supply, it isn't. They outsourced them for... Well, I'm guessing they did it with some of their top-of-the-range models. For some particular reason, they outsourced the power supplies to another company. That other company obviously doesn't exist and probably hasn't done so for several years. But the TV is working now, and I'm pleased because this, I would imagine so many of these would have ended up down the recycling centre because of that chip. And that chip was expensive, 6 or 7 years ago. Now it's almost non-existent. So the power supply is not going to be cheap to the customer, and the backlights, well, I would imagine a set of backlights is only 40-odd quid. So... you've now got a TV as good as new, and obviously I always put a year's warranty on anything that I've done, even though it's not a brand new board I've put in, but I'll always put a year's warranty on it because I hate charging customers and not being able to stand by the work. And most of the time, there's no comebacks. It's fine. Right, it's done. I could plug a cable into it and see what internet things are on this, but as it belongs to a customer that's not my customer, it may flash up some of their, well, I won't say personal and private apps, but it may have some of their details on, so I won't. I'll leave it at that. I'll put the TV back together. And just let them have it back. I mean, that's all I can do. I'd love to be able to fix the board, for 20 quid and let them have it back, but I can't. Anyway, it's up and running.